Welcome. For this yoga class here today, we'll need 2 blocks if you happen to have them. If you don't, we'll figure something else out. And a strap. For our class today, what I'd like to do is just get us moving in every way. Moving physically, moving our awareness, moving our breath. And what I was feeling is that in order to do something very important like come into stillness so that we can listen deeply, sometimes it helps to get the energy moving, the energy cleared and cleansed in the body and in the mind. And in a lot of ways, the way it feels for me is that I'm moving stagnant energy out. So begin by closing your eyes and bringing your attention inside. Notice any sensations that you feel in your body, your energy system, that in some way stops you from being able to be very still, but also very alert and awake. And what I mean by that is, sometimes it's not that we have difficulty being still. It's that sometimes the only time that we're still is when we're tuning out. So can you be still in a way to where you're tuning in, lighting up, waking up? And this way, when you ask the deep questions inside, it will be easier to hear the answers that you're searching for. Now you're just gaining insight as to how you might move in your practice in order to make it easier to sit still. Notice any dormant, stuck spots, and you can make it your goal to wake those areas up as we move into every area of the body here today in our practice. Go ahead and open your eyes and open your legs. Actually, let's start in knee pile. Bring your right knee on top. For Surya Bedana, bring your right middle and index finger in towards the palm. Sit up tall and exhale through your nose all the air out. Close off your right nostril with your right thumb and inhale through the left nostril, filling the lungs completely. Close off your left nostril with your right ring finger and hold both nostrils closed for a count of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now exhale through your right nostril, emptying the lungs completely. Close off your right nostril, inhale through the left. Hold both nostrils closed, and part of what helps us to be more still is stilling the mind. Use this time when you're holding the breath to hold your mind to one point. Exhale through your right nostril. Bring your hand down and take 2 deep breaths here. Change the cross of your legs. And bring your right middle and index finger in to your left palm. Exhale through both nostrils, all the air out. Close off your left nostril with your left thumb and inhale through the right nostril. Hold both nostrils closed, stilling the mind, relaxing the body. Exhale through the right nostril. Through the left nostril. Close off the left nostril and inhale through the right. Hold both nostrils closed. Exhale through the left. Bring your hand down. I want to say one more thing. Sometimes there's distraction or noise in our minds that gets in our way with the deep listening that we're going for in this class today. So just notice ways that you might be distracted mentally and what that feels like in your body. And the cool thing with yoga and moving and focusing on the breath is you can clear some of the thought patterns and the way that they are held in the body, and that also simultaneously helps clear the mind. Now we'll come into a seated straddle. Open the legs up wide and slide in, bringing your feet out as wide as you can. If you have difficulty lifting up through your spine here, grab a blanket or sit up on a block so you can lift out. Side bend, reach out toward your right foot, bring your right arm down, bring the left arm overhead. Inhale, making the left sit bone heavy and reaching out through both legs and feet. Exhale, stretch your left arm straight. And relax your neck. For neck release, bring your left hand out over your left hip, palm down, fingertips pointing away from you. Inhale, create a little bit of a lift into your chest. Exhale, let the weight of your head relax over towards your right shoulder and stretch out through your left arm. Pull yourself up into seated. Inhale, come on up. Use your right hand to lift your head up. Reach out towards your left foot. Slide your left hand down onto the floor and reach the right arm overhead. One thing that I would recommend with getting more energy moving with your breath and in your postures is to check in and make sure that you're not going too deeply in the postures, causing restriction and holding. So just that right amount of stretch in the legs here. And the poses can be a way to start to open up and create more space. Bring your right arm out over your right hip for neck release. As you exhale, use the reach through your right arm to pull the shoulder blade away from the base of the neck. Feel the release all the way up into the skull, along the ear and jaw. Inhale, reach through your right arm, pull yourself up into seated, and use your left hand to lift your head up. Now bring the fingertips to the floor just behind you, roll the shoulders back, lift the chest up. Remember how I said we'll be moving in all ways. So here, feel for a little bit of extension in your spine, especially in the upper back. Keeping that length through the front of the body, bring the hands forward and move into a forward bend. Just the right amount. Move the shoulders back slightly. As you exhale, roll the shoulder blades down and let the weight of your head relax forward. This is a nice place to check in and let go of any tension through the back of the skull, down through the back of the neck, and back of the heart. Release. Inhale, come on up. Use your hands underneath your knees. Pick your knees up and bring your knees together. Elbow to knee. Roll onto your back and bring your knees over your hips, ankles a little bit below your knees. Clasp your hands behind your head. Inhale, curl up through your upper body. Hold the breath, curl tailbone up. Exhale, turn towards your left knee, reach the right leg out in front of you. Squeeze through right sit bone, draw low belly in. Inhale, come back to center with the elbows. Take the breath down into the lower back. Hold the breath, scoop the tailbone up. Exhale, turn toward your right knee, reach the left leg out. Spread open the feet, spread across the balls of the feet and toes. Squeeze through left sit bone, scoop through your lower belly. Inhale, come back to center. Hold the breath, curl tailbone up. Exhale, turn toward your left knee. So you're drawing the low belly in and stretching out long through your right leg. Inhale, come back to center. Hold the breath. Press top rim of the sacrum down towards the mat. Exhale, turn toward your right foot, reach out through your left foot, and make sure that your right shoulder blade is lifted. Draw low belly in. Inhale, come back to center. Keep going. Do 3 more on each side. Moving energy. So, let the head rest in the hands. Feel the heat. The heat can be a wonderful way to start to open up stuck spots, stuck areas, stagnant areas. Now, bring your knees over your hips and bring your upper body down. Now, grab your block for abs with the block. And if you don't have a block, you can use a roll. If you have a Forrest Yoga roll, you can put a pillow between your thighs, something that'll, you can get a little bit of a grip on it with your thighs. Clasp the hands behind your head. Block is the narrow width between the thighs. Thighs out over the hips. You can bend your knees if you need to. Take in a deep inhale. For now, lengthening out along the floor. Hold the breath. Draw your low belly in. Squeeze the block. Exhale. Curl tailbone, sit bones, head and chest up. Bring both elbows toward your left thigh. Now lift the block a little bit more. Squeeze the block with more intensity. Squeeze through sit bones. Draw your low belly in. Inhale, sacrum down. Come back to center with your elbows. Hold the breath. Draw low belly in. Squeeze, exhale, curl up. Bring both elbows toward your right thigh. Lift the block up. Squeeze it. Draw low belly in. Inhale, sacrum down. Hold the breath. Draw low belly in. Squeeze. Exhale. Curl straight up through tailbone and elbows. Inhale. Sacrum down. Keep going. Do one more on each part. Draw low belly in. Squeeze. Exhale. Curl up. Bring both elbows toward your left thigh. Inhale. Sacrum down. Draw low belly in. Squeeze the block. Exhale. Curl up. Bring both elbows toward your right thigh. Now, as you're getting the lift through the block and the inner ankles, draw low belly in. Inhale, sacrum down. Hold the breath. Draw low belly in. Squeeze. Exhale. Curl straight up through tailbone and elbows. Lift the inner thighs. Draw low belly in. Inhale. Bring your feet down and prepare for bridge with the block. So first, slide the shoulders down. Place the feet just in front of the sit bones, a little greater than hip distance apart, parallel. Press into your feet, lift up into bridge, and slide the block underneath you. So what we'll do is, if you don't have a block, you can support with your hands underneath your hips. You want your fingers turned out and just have just the heel of the hand underneath the hips. Or holding bridge pose with just the strength of your legs and back. And you might, just depending on how that feels in your back, skip the variations. Or if it feels okay, you can come into the variations as well. Reach your right leg up towards the top of your head. Now, come into Half-Arasana, bend the right knee, grab the top of your right foot with your right hand, pull the heel towards the butt, and reach your right knee forward and down towards the front of your mat. Press down through your left foot, lift into your chest, and exhale. Feel for lengthening your right knee forward, away from your hip, towards the other end of your mat, and your chest and shoulders releasing to the opposite end of your mat. Just creating lots of space. And then take your breath into it. And the breath, let it be like water today, washing through, clearing and cleansing, whatever you kind of stir up. Release, come into half lotus. You can use your left hand to hold the foot up if you'd like, closer to the left hip, or just do onto the thigh. Figure 4, if that hurts your knee. And reach your right knee forward. Release. Let's reach the right leg up one more time. Bring your right foot down. Reach your left leg up. Feel for how much space you can create with each shape. So here, I'm really opening into the front of the body. Half-Arasana. Grab the top of your left foot, pull the heel in towards the butt, reach the left knee forward. And so I think what I was trying to say before is move your chest toward your chin as you reach your left knee in the opposite direction. Release and come into half lotus. Inhale, reach your left leg up, bring your left foot down, press through both feet, and slide the block out. Inhale, Feeling for moving the ribs in all directions, lifting towards your chin. Exhale, roll the spine down, lengthening the tailbone away as you come down. Bring your knees in towards your chest, roll to your side, and come onto your hands and knees for Turbo Dog. For Turbo Dog, the hands are a little greater than shoulder distance apart. Fingers spread wide. The hands are out in front of you. Bend the elbows, roll the elbows down and in a few inches from the floor. Curl the toes under, keeping the elbows right there. Lift your knees and hips up. Inhale into your upper back. Exhale, open that up a little bit by moving the shoulder blades away from the spine and neck, more towards the armpits, and rolling the elbows down and in. Grip the mat between your index finger and thumb, so when you do that action, you get a scoop right up through your armpits and alongside the ribs. Ground through the heels to make the pelvis lighter. Let the weight of your head relax down. Release. Come into dolphin, bringing the forearms parallel, shoulder distance apart, or clasp the hands if you'd like. Move down, squeeze in through the forearms, curl the toes under, lift the knees and hips up. Inhale, grow long through the sides, drawing right up out of the armpits with the side ribs. Exhale, reach through your heels. Let your neck relax. Step your right foot a little bit more into the center. Reach your left leg up. Change sides, keeping both feet very active. Push through the forearms and wrists to get the energy, the heat moving through the shoulders. Feel for creating space in the joints. Right foot down. So that means you're moving your forearms into the ground and drawing the ribs away from the ground. Exhale. Bring the knees down, a little bit apart, and take a couple of breaths here in child's pose, allowing the top of the head to rest on the floor. Allowing the shoulders and the arms to have a moment of stillness. And there's that very still and awake state of being. Okay, come up into standing. We'll move through some classical suns. So come to the front center of your mat. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Inhale, reach up. Feeling the movement through all the ribs as you inhale. Exhale, forward bend, neck relaxed. Step your left foot back, bring your left knee down. Inhale, lunge, allowing the hips to move forward, tailbone down, lift through the chest. Exhale, bring the hands down, step back, come into plank. Inhale. Squeeze in with the hands, lengthen through the sides. Exhale, come down. Point the toes, reach back long through the legs. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Step your left foot forward, bring your right knee down. Inhale, lunge pose. Sending energy out through the arms and hands. Exhale, forward bend. Let gravity take your upper body. Inhale, press into standing. Lift through the collarbones and shoulder blades. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward bend. Step your right foot back. Bring your right knee down. Inhale, lunge. Exhale. Bring the hands down. Step back. Come into plank. Inhale. Exhale. Bend at the elbows. Stay strong through your arms and core. Come down. Point the toes. Press down through the tops of the legs. Inhale, cobra. Exhale. Downward dog. Step your right foot forward. Bring your left knee down. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, forward bend. Reach through your feet. Bring the hips over the ankles and lengthen the front of the body down the fronts of the legs. Inhale, press into standing. Root through the heels and balls of the feet. Reach up and back. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Step your left foot back. Bring your left knee down. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, bring the hands down. Step back. Come into plank. Exhale, come down, moving the shoulders back and down, away from the ears as you come down. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward dog, left foot forward. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, press into standing, reach up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, reach up, expanding all the ribs with your breath. Exhale, fold forward. Step your right foot back, bring your right knee down. Inhale, lunge. Exhale, bring the hands down, step back, come into plank. Inhale. Exhale, slide down. Empty the lungs. Inhale, cobra. See how much movement you can get in the front of the rib cage. Exhale, downward dog. Right foot forward. Left knee down. Inhale, lunge. Reaching back through your left shin. Moving the hips forward. Exhale, forward bend. Shoulders soft. Neck released. Inhale, press into standing, reach up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Now close your eyes, bring your full attention and awareness inside. And just noticing the energy moving in your body. Connect to it with breath and let breath and the opening that you're getting in the energy channels be a way of clearing and cleansing, creating space. For the next pose, forearm balance, twisted root, or dolphin at the wall with half lotus. Let me demonstrate your options. You can either do dolphin at the wall, just like this, where you bring your body into an L shape, and moving your foot into half lotus, pushing your foot against your thigh to help you lengthen out. Or coming into forearm balance, turning towards the wall, and you'll want a little bit of space between the wall and your hands so that once you get up, you can come into twisted root, wrapping one thigh bone over the other, the foot if you can, squeezing the thighs together, drawing together and up through sit bones, maybe balancing. Inhale, unwind, and then do the other side. So I want to give you a minute here to work with either one of those. Either dolphin at the wall with half lotus, or forearm balance twisted root. The next pose that we'll do is handstand, half lotus, twisted root, or if you're doing the variation again, coming into an L shape with half lotus again. This time, working on your hands. With half lotus. Handstand, moving between the two. So you'll go up, half lotus, twisted root, now you might be able to unwind and stay up and do the other side, or come down, rest for a moment, and then do the other side. Party time! Handstand, half lotus, twisted root, or down dog at the wall with half lotus. Getting energy, moving through the shoulders and arms. This one can really clear your head as well. I've definitely used inversions, handstands, many times as a tool to shift my perspective, to help me move out of one mood or state into another. See how that goes for you. Just in case you're still working with that, I'm going to wait another 30 seconds here. All right. The next thing we'll do is move through some B series. Come back to the front center of your mat. Exhale. Bring your hands to your heart. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Warrior two. Step your left foot forward. Open into warrior two with archer arms. Left elbow up, right elbow down. Clasp the hands between the shoulder blades. Or grab the strap there between your hands. sending lots of energy in all directions. Reverse warrior, lifting up and back, reach back through your left arm. Inhale, moving your left upper hip bone away from the thigh. Stretch out through the left arm, straightening the elbow. Extended warrior variation. Bring your left forearm just above your left knee. Reach the right arm around the back and either grab hold of your inner thigh or grab your waistband. Inhale. Make sure you're down in your lunge. Reach through both feet. Push through your left forearm. Broaden across the chest. Exhale. Let the weight of your head relax over and reach back through your right arm. Move into plank. Inhale, bring the hands down, step back. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Warrior two with archer arms. Step your right foot forward. Come into warrior two. Right elbow up, left elbow down. Reverse warrior. Notice the dynamic movement internally, even though you're not moving your body a lot. You're pretty much holding a pose stagnant. But energy moving through the legs. Extended warrior variation. Come forward. Bring your right forearm just above your right knee. Reach the left arm around the back. Grab hold of your inner thigh or your waistband. I meant to say we're kind of a static hold here, but activate the feet. Squeeze the feet into the mat and towards one another. Getting lots of energy moving through the legs, but also that frees up the energy in the pelvis, so your energy doesn't just drop and get stuck there. Inhale, come into plank, bring your hands down, step back. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Now, bring your knees down, and what I'd like to do is demonstrate Bakasana into turn signal. So, for this pose, you'll come into Bakasana, and then bring one ankle in towards your chest as you stretch the other leg out. You come back here a little bit. Then, come back into Bakasana and change sides. Another way that you can work with this, if you have difficulty with Bakasana, is to put your feet on a block. Work on picking one foot up and then the other, shifting the weight forward. Keeping one foot on the block, extend the other leg out. And switch. So, take a moment, pick one of those options, and give it a try. The actual position of the shin is coming across. So the ankle comes right in front of the chest. Once you finish that, release, step back, and come into downward dog. Inhale, come forward into plank. Exhale, come all the way down for a boat pose. Clasp the hands behind you and lift up. Stretching back long through the arms and legs, forward through the chest. Exhale, bring the hands down. Curl the pubic bone towards the belly button. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward dog. Triangle pose. Step your left foot forward. Spin your right heel in and roll open, bringing your left hand onto the shin or onto the floor. Half moon. Step forward onto your left foot and hand. Lift the right leg high, creating a straight line through the right leg and all the way through the crown of the head. Rolling the body open, right shoulder and hip above the left. Keep a lift through your right leg. Come into vertical splits. Bringing the right hand down, turning. Feel the lift and lightness through your right leg as you let gravity take your upper body down. Step back, downward dog. Triangle pose. Step your right foot forward, open into triangle. Neck relaxed, tailbone curling down towards your left heel. Steady, smooth breath. Smoothing out the rough edges, creating space and calmness. Half moon. Reach through your foundation to create a little more lift and lightness through the left side. Vertical splits, turn, keep the lift through the left leg. Soften the elbows, moving the shoulders away from the neck. Sending strong lines of energy through the legs, clearing congestion, busyness. Release, step back, come into plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Now hop your feet just behind your hands for Ekapada Bakasana. For this pose, if you need the support of the block for crow or one-legged crow, bring the block in. I'll show you what that looks like. Come into your crow, keeping one leg in crow in contact with the arm as you lift the other leg up. And shifting sides. And you might be working without the block. Woo. And crow. Step back. Come into plank. Exhale, come down. Boat pose. Lift up. Notice how this boat pose feels different than the last one. So you have new areas oftentimes in your postures to clear space, to open up, to wake up. Bring the hands down. Press back. Downward dog. Ostrich. Actually, interlock. Step your left foot forward. Open into warrior two. And bring your left shoulder to the inside of your left thigh. Wrap your left arm under. Clasp the hands. Easy bird of paradise. Step your right foot beside your left foot. Shift your weight over into your right foot and lift into standing. From here, extending the left leg out. Bend your left knee, unwind, and come into scissors. For this pose, step back with your right foot, slide your left arm underneath your left thigh, and lift your left foot up. Shifting the weight forward, maybe resting on the right elbow, pick your right leg up. Now, here's where I wanted to show you something that you might enjoy with the blocks. I was playing with this today. And what I really like about it is sometimes in these arm balances, it's hard to feel where you're trying to balance. And I found that if I had the block underneath me, I could focus on balancing on the block. So if my weight was a little bit too far back, I would try to get it more forward over the blocks. So this is going to look like this. I have my blocks maybe about shoulder distance apart. The left foot a little forward and hook the left arm underneath the left thigh. Pick up your left foot. Rock forward over the blocks and pick up your right leg. All right, also from here, step back into downward dog. And I came out of that, but what is also nice about the blocks is if you needed a little bit of help stepping out of this pose into downward dog, put your right foot down and step back into downward dog. So it gives you a little more space to work with. It's really nice. Interlock. Step your right foot forward, slide the right arm under, clasp the hands. Let the neck release. Feel for how much space you can open up with each breath. Easy bird of paradise. Step your left foot beside your right foot, shift your weight over into your left foot, and come up into standing. balancing is fun. From here, option to lift the right leg up. Come on, Cheryl. Okay, now bring your right foot down. Step back with your left foot. If you like that option with the blocks, have the blocks there. Step the right foot a little forward so you can hook underneath the right leg. The elbows stay bent. You're making a shelf with that right arm. Push down with the leg and lift the foot up. Rock forward into your hands. Lift your left leg up. Now, if you don't get the left leg up, that's fine. Just working here with the right leg up. Press back. Downward dog. So when we were playing with this on the other side, we spent a little bit more time. You may have done a couple of sets. So I'll give you a little bit of time here to do one more scissors with or without the blocks, with or without the elbow underneath you. Press back, downward dog. Okay, now we'll do that ostrich pose. Step your left foot forward. Come into warrior two. Clasp the hands behind you. Roll the shoulders back. Fold forward, coming just between the legs with the torso. If your head touches the ground, like mine just did, step your feet in a little closer so you have a little space there. Head to ankle. Bring the hands down. Turn toward your left foot. Step your right foot a little bit to the right, turning the toes a little more forward. Now, more squaring off the hips. Hold the hips right where they are. They'll be a little bit above your left knee. Bend your elbows and let the upper body come down. And just check if your left shoulder starts to come behind the knee. You can wrap your hands around the ankle. Just let the head come down. Or you might have the hands resting on the floor supporting you. You can also have the right knee down supporting you. Downward dog. Release. Step back. Downward dog. Step your right foot forward. Come into ostrich. Pull the feet towards one another. Shift the tailbone down and scoop through the pelvic floor and lower belly. You want to feel space and support along the front of the hips. Head to ankle, bring the hands down, turn towards your right knee, step your left foot a little bit to the left and forward, soften the elbows, let the back round, clearing congestion in the hips and through the shoulders. Release, bring the hands down, step back, come into plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Let's take a few deep, smooth breaths here. Notice what it feels like to have a little more space. And how much easier it is to feel the breath moving through the whole body. Bring your knees down. And I'd like to demonstrate standing tortoise into Titibhasana. First off, for standing tortoise, you want to have your ankles about shoulder distance apart. One thing that you might be able to see here is that my knees, that brings my knees to approximately shoulder distance apart. And what's great about that is when you get into this next position, coming down in between the legs, then the next step is to slide the shoulders behind the knees. So if you have the knees in, you can get behind the knees a little more easily. Then we'll reach up and grab, or grab a strap, grab clothing, grab whatever you can reach. Feet, shoulder distance apart, soften the knees. You want to come and bring your torso all the way in between your thighs. You don't want to have your torso pulling away from your thighs, caused by tight hamstrings and glutes. So bend the knees and get that deep fold in your hips. Now, the hands come behind the heels. Push forward with your hands to help you slide the shoulders back, or just staying here in this position, breathing into your back. Once you get your shoulders behind the knees, reach your hands up and either grab or grab your strap. I forgot to show you this, but place the hands flat on the floor just behind the heels, bend the elbows, and sit down on your upper arms. You might stay here, crossing the ankles to help you have a little more power to hold yourself up off the floor, or reach the legs out. Titibhasana. From here, come into seated. Cross your ankles, step back, downward dog. Twisting lunge. Step your left foot forward, bring your right knee down. Lift your torso, reach up through your right arm, and come across, hook your right elbow on the outside of your left thigh, make a fist with your right hand, bring your left hand on top. Inhale, lifting the chest up in line with your hands. Exhale, get grounded, let your neck relax. Twisting lunge interlock. From here, slide across and down with your right shoulders, hooking the right shoulder on the outside of your left knee. Wrap the right arm under, clasp the hands, or you might be reaching in that direction, just grab clothing. Here, let the right side of your rib cage rest on your thigh, and breath by breath, creating movement on the left side of your rib cage, freeing up the left collarbone and allowing the collarbone to roll back. Side crow. Unwind. Step your ankles and your knees together. This is actually one of the ones that I had the most fun using the blocks with. It just felt really easy to get up into side crow, focusing on balancing over the blocks. So you'll hook your right arm on the outside of your left thigh, shift forward over the blocks, and pick your feet up. So you have to to balance on the center of the blocks, you have to let your chest come a little forward so the feet can come up. Gaze out in front of you so you don't fall forward. Okay, downward dog. Twisting lunge. Step your right foot forward, bring your left knee down, knees to 90 degrees. Reach up through your left arm, hook on the outside of your left thigh, and bring the hands together. Inhale, arching into the right side of your torso. Exhale, get a little more contraction down through the sit bones. Let your neck relax. So if you're steady down through your left forearm, that helps a little bit with balance as well. Twisting lunge interlock. Bring the left shoulder to the outside of your right thigh. Wrap the left arm under, clasp the hands, or just reach in that direction, grab clothing. Steady. Feel for how much movement you can create with your breath, coaxing the ribs on the right side of the rib cage to move. Feel the support through the left side. So the left shoulder and left side of your rib cage supported on your right thigh through the right foot. Release. Step your ankles and knees together. Turn to your right, hooking your left arm on the outside of your right thigh. Rock forward over your blocks and pick the feet up. And release. Oh, I got one more for you. Come into seated. Ashtavakrasana. Trying to think what's the best angle for you. First, bring your, and I'll be working on this side, but you bring your left thigh over the left shoulder. Hook your right ankle over the left. Squeeze, grabbing around the left arm. Now, the first stage is getting up off the floor with your butt. So the blocks are a really great help with that in this pose. You want to have them a little bit out in front of you so that when you rock forward and push down, that will get you up off the ground. Then, extend through the legs, bend the elbows. Keep your balance over the blocks. And sit down. All right. Right leg over. Hook the left leg over. Now, there's a little bit of a turn here. My feet are pointing out that way. My hips are pointing that way. Turn your upper body 90 degrees to that. And rock onto the blocks. Press down. Pick the hips up. Hook around your right arm and bend the elbows. Reach back long through your left side. And release. Take a seat. Okay. Now, let's do half lotus spinal twist. Slide your right ankle on top of your left thigh, as long as that doesn't hurt the knee. You can also be working with your right foot in front, fingertips on the floor behind you. Use the strap if you need it. Reach around and grab hold of your right foot with your right hand. Bring your left hand down on top of your right knee. And inhale. Lengthen, create space along the spine. Exhale. Bring your chin in line with your chest. Use your arms to help you begin to spiral the upper body around, especially reaching back through your left arm and elbow. Push down through your left arm, lift your chest. Then relax your left ear over towards your left shoulder. And what I meant to say before, I think, is that you're reaching back through your right arm, right elbow. Here, feel for releasing the neck down from the chest and from the inner edge of your right shoulder blade. Release. Other side. Left foot on top. Exhale. Hook the left arm around, right hand on top of your left knee. Inhale. Exhale. Rolling now the left shoulder back. Feel the support down through the right arm. Release the right ear over towards your right shoulder. And the way I felt it is I would feel the tension along the side of my neck, the left side. And then if you feel down, you can feel where that tension attaches sometimes, right along the inner edge of the shoulder blade or down into the upper chest. You want to just let your head relax from there. Release. Come back to center. And come onto your back for Shavasana. Extend the legs out. Roll the spine out. And come on down. Let everything go. Just let your body relax back. Heavy into the ground. Stay present, very awake and alert. So when you're very sensitive, you can feel the slightest bit of holding, the remnants of how you hold in your body, some of the patterns, some of the worries, the fears, the shielding, the closing down. And with that awareness and the support of the floor underneath you, this wonderful pose, you can finally let it all go. The fascinating thing is you start to feel lighter and lighter. The more you sink into the mat. As you unwind some of those areas that tend to grip all the time. Just frees your energy up. You will literally feel that you're no longer bound. Begin to bring your awareness back into your body, introducing movement, deepening the breath. Bend your knees, roll your knees in toward your chest, and roll onto your right side. Press up into seated. Sit up tall. Rest your hands on your thighs so you can relax through your shoulders. And let's take 1 minute here, embracing the stillness, the aliveness, the space and freedom that you've created with your practice. And gently open your eyes. What this does is it lets the light come in slowly so you can maintain that sense of spaciousness and calm. If you do have time, after I sign off here, to just sit in stillness for a moment, do it. Let's bring the hands together. Namaste. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a great evening.